What's a civilization-ending scenario that most people don't know about? Any sort of large-scale electrical grid failure. Seems possible to me that instead of some nuclear warhead, there could be a large EMP that would wipe out satellites and electric grids. Imagine how crazy people would go if they couldn't use internet, phones, TVs, lights, etc. for a long period of time. False vacuum decay. The universe itself may be in a metastable state, where it's in a local minimum energy state. But there may be a lower energy state that we have not reached yet. If we ever cross that barrier, the entire rules that govern the universe may collapse into a state we don't understand. Weaponized supercomputer or AI to freeze all digital assets we would never recover, especially if they attacked the internet, television and airwaves to prevent dissemination of information. No bank accounts. Cash would be worthless without a system to support it. Pure lawlessness worldwide. Global war. Tensions with Russia haven't exactly cooled off since the 80s. Also, the asteroid Apophis, which will pass between the moon and the Earth as it passes us with a 1 in 7 chance to get trapped in Earth's gravity and killing pretty much everything about 7 years later. False vacuum decay. On the upside, we would never know. A wave of universe not working as before would come in speed of light and Earth would cease to exist in a millisecond. The continuation of the current global warming trends. It's already starting to get about as bad as the so-called alarmists from the 80s and 90s said it would be. That, or Trump taking the White House again. Existential threat from emerging technology. Imagine if we develop superintelligence that surpasses human control, or if nanobots get loose and start replicating uncontrollably. A pandemic that's more than marginally deadly. The world got a collective F for the way it handled COVID. A transmissible virus with even a 5 fatality rate would end everything. Resource depletion. If we continue to use resources like fresh water, metals, and fossil fuels unsustainably, we could eventually reach a point where they become too scarce. What Pakistan has done to Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Indus Valley civilization and Takshashila University, which has existed since 6th century, is deplorable and beyond repair. When there's no human capable of producing a baby, aka worldwide human infertility. The movie Children of Men depicts this kind of event. Also a very jib movie. Apophis in 2029. During this pass of Earth, the gravitational pull could alter Apophis' course, thereby increasing the chance Apophis hits Earth 7 years later. As a kid, I learned that if a gamma ray burst is coming right at us, we really can't do anything about it. We'd just get me up for a few nights. The Earth is tilted, hence our seasons. The tilt is not consistent, and if the wobble shifts for enough in the right direction, we could see an ice age. The Great Emu War of 1930 escalates, with the emus developing advanced technology and deciding humanity's been hogging the planet for too long. Cyclical cataclysms that happen every few thousand years, knocking us back to the Stone Age, i.e. the CIS declassified Adam-Eve story. Everyone talks about nuclear weapons, but nobody seems to talk about weaponizing EMPs, which could also bring the end to civilization. If this thread gets posted 5 more times, we are all going to die. Seriously, this same question was on here like 4 days ago. Solar flares, with how the world runs on digital electronics. A really big solar flare would fuck shit up. Runaway thawing of permafrost. Good luck reducing CO2 emissions once that ball gets rolling. If a certain fungus or other plant disease gets to our wheat farms, we're 5 shades of fucked. A slow burn collapse is much more likely than a single major event to cause something major. Based on our response to COVID, bird flu H5N1 could bring down societies and governments. If another pandemic were to happen which was slightly more deadly than COVID, we'd be doomed. All these different possibilities and scenarios, I am not sure which I am hoping for. We run out of toilet paper for some reason. Anarchy, cannibalism, all within a month. 410 dirty bomb excitant. Fission material pre-aired in atmosphere. Everyone die. Ops mum cannonballing into the sea, creating 1,000 feet tsunamis in all directions. Worldwide more plausible compared to other apocalypse scenarios. EMP electromagnetic pulse at the right altitude would be a major problem. Unexpected gamma ray bursts from space. Everything digital. Fried instantly.